Hello, my name is Cindy, and I am codependent. I've been walking out my recovery journey since January 21st of 2020, the night I came to my first Free Tuesday session. Before that, I had attended a few Al-Anon meetings, mostly half-heartedly. I'd go to 2 and then wait a few months and go to a couple more. And I also skimmed some articles and skimmed some books that had been recommended to me by friends who were codependent. But nothing really got to me until I actually read from cover to cover the book by Melody Beattie called Codependent No More in the fall of 2019. That book really got to me. I was also intrigued and encouraged by the things that my husband would come home talking about after a Free Tuesday session. I thought maybe we could connect in a deeper way, in a better way, and our marriage would be stronger. In other words, I was trying to fix it, but I didn't really think I needed to go. So tonight, I'm not here to share my life story with you or draw all the lines between the bad stuff that happened to me and the reasons I became codependent. Those stories will be relevant maybe at some other occasion, some other time. But I'm really here to just share my own journey and experiences of working through steps 4 and 5. Okay, so why? Why would someone so new to the recovery journey with just like 2 months under their belt dive right into steps 4 and 5, which are notoriously the hardest ones? Blind stupidity. That's the first reason. I'm a sheep, an oldest kid, and a rule follower. If you're supposed to work the steps, then just do it, girl. Reason number 2, blind stupidity. Somehow, again, with only 2.5 months under my belt, I was now co-leading, somehow, our newly formed codependent group. By the way, somehow's name is Carolyn Moore. So, girl, if you're a leader, you better be working those steps, and you better be setting a good example and reading all the material. So, of course, I announced to our group, I'm working steps 4 and 5. I was working on my searching and fearless moral inventory. And I had read the chapters, and I had made the recommended little chart in my recovery journal. Reason number 3. Blind stupidity. Because I thought, this won't be too hard or painful. I'm a pretty good person. How much can there really be? I've made some mistakes and screwed up some, but most of my troubles have been the result of somebody else's problems or somebody else's wrongs. Denial is a very strong character word for codependence. Clueless. Set myself up perfectly. So then I actually started this searching and fearless moral inventory process using the chart and the steps that Melody Beattie recommends in her book. I prayed and I thought about who should help hear my fifth step, because that's what she recommends. You have to find someone and make an appointment so you don't back out. So I prayed, and then I checked that off my list. First thing done, yay. Okay, this is what Melody says. The purpose of this step is to see what we have, for better and for worse. We want to look at our habits, emotions, behaviors, and the beliefs that create our behaviors. We look for specific things we've done that we're ashamed of, and for our good points and our good deeds. You can also begin family of origin work. I've included a sample format so you can get an idea of how to do this. Although some things are private, we're only as good, or we're only as sick as our secrets. As another program slogan that's accurate for the most part, look for anything that causes you to feel bad about yourself, any habitual behavior that you do that create negative consequences. We really want a clear picture of ourselves. So, as I said, this is my recovery journal, and on the side of its pages are scriptures. Day 1, I dutifully sit down, open up my journal, and read, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Lead me in the way everlasting." And I'm like, that is my favorite psalm, Psalm 139. Let's go, God. Let's do this thing. That's encouraging. But I was already starting to squirm a little bit with the idea of being searched and known at that deep, intimate level. So that's where we had to start. Why does this idea of being searched and known by your Creator and the one who already knows everything anyway make you squirm, Cindy? What are you hiding? Where are you hiding your heart? Instantly, I heard that question echoing in my soul because I had heard it before. The memory came flooding back. The first Sunday in 2007 that I served as Mosaic's worship leader, I got a phone call after worship ended from someone I barely knew through the Emmaus community and who was actually a member of another Methodist church and had not been at that service. But she said, "God told me to call you and to ask you this question. Where do you hide your heart?" I was stunned and actually kind of resentful that this person had invaded, my celebratory, yay, we made it through the first service and it was great. This is going to be awesome. And I hung up thinking, that was weird. I wonder if she's a little bit crazy. And I tried to dismiss it as a quirky little comment from someone who really didn't know me very well. The thing is, that question never left my heart. It never left me. It haunted me over and over for years. But I had too much to do, too many people to take care of to deal with that question. And that right there is where Jesus met me, that day 1 when I started step 4. As if he didn't already know, he got in my face gently and asked, "Where do you hide your heart and why?" Isn't it time to let go? Let me help you unravel this complicated, messy life. I can make you whole again, make it all work together, and teach you a new way to live. Will you trust me with all of you? The pretense, the hiding, the unacceptable, the shame. Aren't you done trying to be good enough? Then failing, believing you're never going to be good enough, cycling through one more time. Try hard, fix it, fail, guilt, frustration, anger, projection, victimized living, defeat, hopelessness, hide the heart, try again. Because that's what you're supposed to do. At that point, the Lord led me to Matthew 11, 28 through 30 in the Message. Jesus resumed talking to the people, but now tenderly. "The Father has given me all these things to do and say. This is a unique father-son operation, coming out of father and son intimacies and knowledge. No one knows the Son the way the Father does, nor the Father the way the Son does. But I'm not keeping it to myself. I'm ready to go over it line by line with anyone willing to listen. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me, and you'll recover your life." Recovery. "I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly." Y'all, that is recovery language right there. Jesus knew what he was talking about. This is what Jesus said to me, and I had to make a choice that felt dangerous, like jumping off a cliff, dangerous. How much do I really want my life to change? Can I trust Jesus and his promise of freedom? Can I trust the process? Let me say that again. Can I trust the process? I'm not going to lie. It was hard. Really hard at times. It was painful and scary to face my own ugliness and to know that I was going to have to say it all out loud to another human being. To let Jesus teach me about the lies that I believed, how they had driven my bad choices and responses. But even more, even as hard as it was, there was his reassurance and promise of freedom. I wanted grace. I wanted someone to tell me that I was enough. On the day I was supposed to meet the person who would listen to this inventory, which was definitely not fearless, but definitely searching as much as I could allow it to be at that point, I was shaking from the time I got up, and I wanted to cancel. It was God's grace and the kindness of the other person that helped me complete that step. And let me tell you, it was so worth it. I have a long way to go. I know, because I still don't really believe it in the deepest part of my heart when I hear the Lord say, "You're enough." And it really isn't true that I am enough. I am a mess without him. It's really the wrong question, how can I be enough? The real question I have to ask every day is, Jesus, how can I be enough for today? Teach me. And if I'm listening, I hear him say, hide your heart, Cindy, in my heart. That makes you enough. I can work with that. It's daily enough grace.
My heart is so proud. My mind is so unfocused. I see the things you do through me as great things I have done. And now you gently break me, and lovingly you take me. You hold me as my Father and mold me as my Maker. I ask you, how many times will you pick me up when I keep on letting you down? Each time I will fall short of your glory. How far will forgiveness abound? And you answer, my child, I love you. And as long as you're seeking my face, you'll walk in the power of my daily sufficient grace. At times I may grow weak and feel a bit discouraged, knowing that someone somewhere could do a better job. For who am I to serve you? I know I don't deserve you, and that's the part fall short of your glory, how far will forgiveness abound? And you answer, my child, I love you. And as long as you're seeking my face, you'll walk in the power of my daily sufficient grace. You are so patient with me, Lord. As I walk with you, I'm learning what your grace really means. The price that I could never pay was paid at Calvary. So instead of trying to repay you, I'm learning to simply obey you by giving up my life to you for all that you've given to me. I ask you, how many times will you pick me up when I keep on letting you down? And each time I will fall short of your glory, how far will forgiveness abound? And you answer, my child, I love you. And as long as you're seeking my face, you'll walk in the power of my daily sufficient grace. You'll walk in the power of my daily sufficient